There we go. 1, 2. There we go. Let's try this again. Doom, doom. I don't even know where the music is. I was like going with the music. And I was saying we're here for One Piece chapter 1184 at 7 o'clock. The pod OKC starts right here on Twitch, not on Edge 2 Gaming, not on Edge 2 Otaku on YouTube, but on the pod OKC. So make sure to tune in for that because we're watching Outlaw Star starting at 7:30. I think I said 7 o'clock. 7:15-ish, 7 o'clock. We're going to jump in just for the fellas to get ready, but 7:30 join us to watch episode 5 and 6 of Outlaw Star. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into this because today we're reading the chapter. This is the flashback inside of a flashback, and you're like, why are we having a flashback right after we had Harold and Loki and Roxas flashback? Because it's fucking imperative. And as you see in the title, Brook's D Arcus secret will be revealed, but it's really a theory. I think that the reason we're seeing this again and we're having this conversation of why are we having another flashback, which I don't really understand. I said this last time. I don't see why people are bitching about a flashback. Flashbacks have always given us information and context of the world of One Piece since it has been fucking around for 27 years. So yeah, I don't know what the problem is. You still get action. You get some answers to lore, you get setups to answers to lore, and Oda has been very fucking good about answering those questions. That being said, I digress because this is not a bitch session. I am just going to let you know we're about to dive into it. Let me just make this last post and we're going to get ready to dive into this chapter because the title was different. Brook's story becomes a little different when you look at it this way. I think that Brook and Reuven are a part of the D clan, and there are certain things that we've seen that have hinted to that, but let's wait before we get into that. You already know. Let me put up the logo. Oh, the socials. We'll hit the socials. You want to see it? Bam, there they are. We'll hit them again at the end of the show. I'm not doing that right now. We are not going to do that right now. We are about to get into, had to make sure we're on the right page. This chapter, One Piece chapter 1184. Let us, boom, there we go. Let's dive into this amazing story about our boy, Brook D. Bones, if he will. The chapter is called We're All Bones When We Die, and now you see the reader request Brook gets electrocuted by electric jellyfish while swimming in the sea by Primo D. Takashi from the man himself, Goat Ot Da Sama. Now we start here in this chapter. Princess, you're a beautiful page. By the time the Princess of Asperia, which is a real place in our world, our society, I think it's in Italy, was 14 years of age, tales of her beauty had spread until 5 princes of nearby kingdoms had asked for her hand in marriage. Whoa! As she points the sword, you see her. I yield, the prince says as he drops his sword. The other 5 along with him, you're sitting there huffing and puffing. She goes, you're so weak. And they're like, we're sorry. And we see the text box after we see her thigh-high leggings. Kingdom of Asperia's princess, Shuri, age 14. And she says, I don't like weak men or men who can't play music. And they're like, music? Because we know that Shuri has had a crush on this man right here. Look at that boy with the afro, Brook, since she was a child. It says, I hear you defeated all the princes in combat, Princess Shuri. I sure did. You like strong women, don't you, Brook? Well, I'm a lot stronger now. And as we look at him hold Shuri's hand like he did last chapter when she was 7 years old and he was 20, Brook is now the age of 27. Kingdom of Asperia, battle convoy commander, Brook. No last name. Just Brook. Remember that. She continues, I'm a lot stronger now, and I'm a lot cuter. And he goes, I suppose you are. He says, and I bet my chest will fill out in the future, too. He says, stop that. It's undignified. And she goes, oh, why do you have to talk like Papa? And then Brook on bent knees, you see him with the ladies. Beauteous ladies, might I have a gander at your garter, a peek at your panties, and a sword? Boom, hits him right in the back of the head as he finishes that fucking sentence. And Shuri says, who's undignified now? Again, this was pointed out by my boy Nam, the age gap. Crazy. I want to know more I mean, because it seems like he's protecting her, he's watching her, but you can tell she's definitely fawning over him as they get older. I don't know if they were supposed to be married. I also think that Candel, after a theory came up, could be a possible plant. She could be a holy knight here with King Reuven. But we digress. We'll go back to this in a minute. Brook and Shuri sit in the garden and start to sing. Oh, crows and frogs and slaves and kings, we're all bones when we die. And then Shuri picks up, crows and frogs and slaves and kings, we're all bones in the end. That's all there is to say. Yeah. And then we have that iconic Brook laugh. Yo ho ho, as he sings and laughs, strumming away at his guitar, and Shuri jumps in. Ha 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 ha. I love all your songs, Brook. This goes back to Gunko, loving Soul King. And then we see them sitting there, and then Brook says, yes, His Majesty said the same thing. And then Shuri's like, you really love Papa, don't you, Brook? And Mama, too, of course. And Brook says, yes, I owe him everything. If I hadn't met your father, I'd be nothing but bones by now, as he sings it and smiles. And we can see that this has been Brook's personality since he was alive. We go back to Brook, age 12. Hee hee, they're so lucky. School, real instruments. They sound so pretty. And then, hey, someone yells. Uh-oh. Brook runs away from the fence. That nasty little boy is peering through the bars again. Well, I'm sorry, he says as he runs off. Shoo, shoo, you're scaring all the students. Ew, what a stench. The shame of the country. The fuck does Brook? Brook is over here trying to learn how to play fucking instruments, and these fucking charlatans and harlots are up his ass. Fuck them, Brook. We meet Brook at the trash dump as dogs are howling and growling at him, and he's dancing atop the trash heap. Let's blame the king. We need a new king. One day we'll get to play real music. Dad and mom and little bro, we're all starving and skin and bones. And then you hear, how am I even alive? Eating toads so I can thrive. Let's blame the king. We need a new king. As Brook finishes his song, we see a man that has the split, he's not split head, he's split chin. The opposite of our boy Foxy. He also looks like a Davy D nigga, but he also is modeled after Beethoven. We see him come up. He goes, those are terrible lyrics. Did you make them up? And is that? And he goes, it's my violin, as he continues to strum. That's a violin. I made it out of glass bottles and some wire. Doesn't it sound nice? Sure. Why? Sure. Way to be creative. And then Brook is laughing, smiling, glasses on top of his head. You came here before, right? Are you a fan of mine, old man? He's like, ha ha ha, maybe I am, but I'm not that old. I'm only 25. And if I was Brook, I would have been like, bullshit. I would have sung bullshit to him. Bullshit, motherfucker. Like, this Reuven, you don't see the stubble right now, so he's clean shaven. But when the stubble comes in, that booty chin get the filling out, nigga look like he's 40. And Brook continues, wow, you look so much older. Yo, you must have a hard life. He goes, whoa, you got a weird laugh, kid. Yo, I guess I'll call you bro instead. And he's here, bro. I'll cook you a meal as a sign of friendship. I caught some fresh grasshoppers and a frog today. That's good. The secret ingredient is curry powder. I steal it from the Navy ships that came to port every now and then. And then Reuven's just staring, hasn't said a fucking word, just looking at it. And Brook's like, it makes everything you put in it taste like curry. I guess that's not so much of a secret ingredient then. Yo ho ho. And then Reuven's like, nigga had a flashback of real food. He's just looking like, God damn, this boy, frog and grass and crickets, grasshoppers, goddamn. We see plates that have been meticulously made for him, nice clean portions that he sees, and even when he goes on dates, and we hear his thoughts from the past. The soup de jour is dollar abilene, harvested from the Euro Peninsula and cooked in red wine with A6 rupee beef. Your Highness, this is the daughter of the Sephron Zabatsu. She graduated top of the class from Inoya Academy. So Reuven has been used to being fed high-class meals, being introduced to princesses and people of high stature, and yet he's sitting here with a bowl out of the junkyard. Mind you, this is where Brook lives, with frogs and grasshoppers in it. And he goes, what's up, bro? It's so good it made you tear up. He said, right, yeah. He's like, this is Asteria too? Yes, motherfucker, this is your trash heap. And he says, I'm just a little tired. Thanks for the meal. And then he shoves the frog in his mouth. We see this motherfucking frog hanging out of his mouth, nasty as shit. And then lightning strikes his asshole, his heart, his stomach, because it tastes like shit. And then Brook goes, yo, ho, 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 so good it makes you shiver, huh? I'm glad you like it that much. And he goes, hang on, bro. I'll sing you a song now. Reuven is dead. That's why there's no words. He's dead at this point. Brook has to sing him back awake. Brook continues, what? You want to pay me? Don't bother, bro. We've each got our troubles, don't we? Because Brook thinks he's poor too, the way he looks, and he doesn't look that bad, but he's at the junkyard. And so Reuven brings back fucking alcohol for Brook. 11-year-old. He's got some in a bottle and some in a flask. He gives Brook the bottle as he fishes, and then iconically looking like fucking rocks with a octopus in his hand as he smokes a cigar, and Brook just strumming away on the guitar that he's made out of nails, string, and Coke bottles. Then we shift to the port. One day, Esperia Cello Port. It's a naval escort ship. Load the merchant ship with instruments. Be very careful. They're fragile, a man says. And then we see drip, drip, as blood hits the floor. I don't know what you mean. You got the wrong guy. As we see the fucking beat to shit Brook. Blood, big ass busted eye, missing teeth, and then the Marine. Don't lie to me, you little mule. Where's the powder the gangsters told you to carry? Where'd you hide it? And you know what? We'll save that question for later. We go and we see that there are more soldiers in the room surrounding Brook, guns, and beating the shit out of him and say, we paid a lot of money for that stuff, and you're supposed to give it to us. And instead, what do we find? Curry powder. Brook doesn't know what else to do. He starts singing the same song we heard him singing at age 27 next to Shuri. Crows and frogs and slaves and kings, we're all bones when we die. Stop singing, they yell. And he's thinking, it'll be over in a moment if I keep singing. So long, stray dogs. So long, bro. And then the Marine says, either way, he's seen our faces. We gotta kill him and go after the gang. And then Brook yells out, we're all bones when we die. And then, boom, doors split open. Brook! Huh? They turn around. Reuven is pissed. And Brook sees him. Bro! Prince Reuven! They turn around. How you gonna, y'all niggas don't think they're gonna get caught. That's the whole deal. They don't think they're gonna get caught. When they do, a surprise. And then we see Prince. And then Reuven runs over and hugs him. I'm so glad you're alive, Brook. I don't know what I'll do with myself if you died. Step back, your highness. The battle convoy will handle this, says Kendall. Don't try to stop me. I'll do this myself. Look what these guys did to my little friend. They need to feel the same pain he did. Huh? Wait, that's Asperia's battle convoy. So now the Navy's pissing their panties. And then we hear over a Din Mushi. Prince Reuven, we caught the Mulone family and the mule who was transporting their drugs. And they go, mule? Yeah, niggas, y'all should have did y'all research, bitch. Y'all Navy, Marines, y'all never do no fucking research. Then we see Brook sitting there. And then they're like, then he really is just a kid who loves curry powder. Fuck. Yeah, I know the ass is done now. And then we have somebody from the convoy. Your Highness, you have to set your personal grudge aside. The world government is behind the Navy. If the government is backing this scum, then the world's truly coming to an end. Right, Kendall, says Reuven. And this makes me suspicious because not only is there a little hee-hee in there, she's ready to fight, which I'm always about fighters, but she says, I'm your trusted blade. The same thing as Harold and Sommers. They are the blades of Emu. But she says, I am your trusted blade, Highness. I'll fight at your side. Huh? Hey, stop. We're Navy. No, you're not, he says. And they lunge into battle. Look at this panel, dude. You're trash, he says. Da, 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 doom, as they come through, dual wielding swords, cutting the fuck out of people. And she's lancing with that rapier like our boy Brook with the backhand up, hitting that goddamn pose. We see Reuven and Kendall taking him out. And then Brook, shocked and astonished, someone is saving his ass, says, they're sword fighting. That's so cool. Then we hear, hey, did you hear? From the citizens of Asperia. Lady Kendall's done it again. She saved the kingdom from peril. Asperia Palace. Are you awake now, Brooke? Brooke wakes up, head wrapped up. You see this shit. I'm not going to say he looks better as Dead Bones Brooke, but, you know, he getting fucked. And she goes, I am not angry at you, Prince Reuven. I'm simply asking that you be more mindful of your royal position, as she pours some tea. And now we have the text box, Kingdom of Asperia, Battle Convoy Commander, Kendall. And then Reuven says, yeah. Hey, Brooke. And Brooke says, you're a prince, bro. Listen, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I wasn't trying to hide it. I just had too much fun hanging around you to ruin the good times. And then he continues, also, don't you dare tell anybody about stealing the curry powder. Every time Prince Reuven went missing, we went into a panic trying to find him, Kendall says. And then she leans into Brooke and says, I never would have guessed he was passing the time with such an adorable little friend, and taps him on the face. And then, just like Sanji's, Brooke's nose starts to explode. And we hear, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know your wounds were so deep, Kendall says. Nah, he's fine, ignore him, Reuven says. More importantly, listen up. This guy's my favorite musician. Give him a room in the barracks and some real instruments to play, and make it so he attends school. We've got a new star in Asperia. And as Brooke has turned over to act like he's asleep, he's like, huh? Listening to all this. And Reuven finishes off this chapter saying, I love this guy. If we keep him around, life in the palace is going to be way more fun, as Brooke cries in tears of joy to actually have a family. Chapter 1184. If we go back to the junkyard when he says dad and mom and little brother were all starving and skin and bones, I don't know, because this is a song that Reuven doesn't know. And every time we see Asperia, but Brooks and them were singing Bink Saki. So here's my conclusion. Brooke is a Davy member. I don't know if his parents were that lived on Asperia or from somewhere else, but I think, excuse me, I think that Reuven and the people of Asperia were the Davy clan before they moved to God Valley. And also, Brooke himself is Davy, even if he doesn't know it. Even if it's just being adopted by the king, I think he is a D member, not only because of the past and some features, but the soul aspect, his devil fruit, his soul, his journey, the crews he's been with. A lot of things coincide with Davy D. Zebek, with Teach, and Reuven and him could possibly be, or this could possibly not be in existence anymore because the world government knew about the Davy clan here. And if they are, it would make sense that they would pass down the song of Bink Saki, because they're singing it as if they're pirates, but they live here. Brooke and them, we haven't seen them leave port. That is my theory. The features are there for both Brooke and for King Reuven. I'm gonna call him Reuven until someone in Japan corrects me. But they have the features. They have the attitudes. They're in a location that we know nothing about. This is brand new information to us. This does raise more questions, but these are the things that Oda presents to us that pay off. Because right now, Brooks, before I go, we look at this. The first person to ever lay eyes on Emu outside of the world government, Mary Joie, was Davy D. Zebek. The next person that we know of, we recently learned, was Dozan. The first Straw Hat member to meet Emu was Brooke. That's not a coincidence. Davy D. Zebek had his own backstory. Brooke is having a backstory after meeting Emu. The first person to meet Emu, not first person to meet Emu, first person to talk to Emu. Let me clarify. Davy D. Zebek talked to Emu. Rocks talked to that nigga. And Brooke talked to him. What are you doing? That's Gunko. Wait a second. Because see, now I'm getting Emu and Gunko mixed up. Brooke was the very first Straw Hat to talk to Gunko, because he'd be like, what are you doing? You're father killer. What if Kendall was a part of the world government, and that the reason why she hates her mother is because she killed Reuven and it got blamed on her somehow. I don't know how that's going to work out. Either she gets taken and has to come back and kill Reuven and Kendall. Kendall's a god knight, a knight of God, and killed Reuven and tried to kill her. I'm not sure, but I am close to 100% certain Brook's story and meeting Emu is tied to Davy D. Zabek being in the flower room and Mary Joie and meeting and talking to Emu. Reuven, there's got to be something else because he's another country that we have no knowledge of that doesn't give a fuck about the world government. Someone here, maybe the Davy clan, was liberated by Nika, Joy Boy, and this is their land and territory. And then the world government finally found it and plotted its downfall like they have Elbaf and everywhere else. Those are my theories. What are your theories for next week? 1185, and then what answered questions did you get from this chapter? What other questions did you have? Throw those in the comments on YouTube, and also follow the native Japanese speakers that are linked in the description. If there is a show that in the description there is no link, let me know so I can go ahead and put it in. It's been hectic lately, but Kendall seems very poised. She's strong, super strong. Reuven is just as strong as her, but I feel like there may be something there from the last 2 chapters, and we may do a 2-chapter reread before the next chapter. So, hey, thank you. Who was that? Let's go ahead and see. Oh, come on now. There we go. Hey, thanks for the follow, HRK. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. This has been chapter 1184. I'm getting ready to prepare for the pod OKC. We're getting ready to do 2 episodes of Outlaw Star, episode 5 and 6. So hop on over there on Twitch. Make sure to join in and watch those episodes with us. Let me know what you think about Brook's tragic fucking backstory, because I do feel we are going to get more of this backstory next chapter and head back to Elbaf. And if you're bitching about it, it's almost over. Just don't read the chapter or shut the fuck up. You know, you got to do both. You can't, oh, this is horrible until you get to the end, you know? There's steps. Oda hasn't missed yet, so I like it. There's some arcs that are greater than others, but there's a narrative theme. The stakes are always there. And going back, people are like, oh, this isn't true to One Piece, and I don't think this was as priority or high stakes as Straw Hat should be going through. Straw Hats are about growth and overcoming. There's a lot of shit that they do back to back to back. The themes are there. The arcs are tied together. It makes fucking sense, even though it doesn't. Don't tell me it doesn't make sense when you watch Dorohedoro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't come to me. I watched Dorohedoro. That makes more sense. No, the fuck it doesn't. They keep it a secret, bitch. It's Pulp Fiction of anime, and so is One Piece in some aspects. That's why you got to read the SBSs and, you know, read some shit. But I digress. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe to the channel. Show some love to our sponsors, MEats.com. Go there and you can get 6 different high protein, high fiber, plant-based, low carb, low sodium ramen. Use promo code EDGE2G to get $5 off your purchase online, or use their store locator and go find them at your local grocery store and look through the flavors and buy them. We also have switchery.com, where you can get your thumbnails, accessories, cases for any version of the Nintendo Switch that you have. Use promo code EDGE10 to get 10% off your purchase. But other than that, just like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for throwing in the stretch commands for me. I appreciate it. They're not coming up for some reason, but I see them here. My boy Nam threw them in. And thanks for the biddies. I will see you guys in the next one. Elijah 5000 out here at Edge 2 Otaku, your place for One Piece anime content. But also follow me on Edge 2 Gaming, not only on Twitch, where I stream everything, but Edge 2 Gaming on YouTube, which is specifically all of the games that aren't anime. There are a shit ton. If you know me, I'm an anime guy, so I have to have a separate catalog for that. Plus, this is the place for my One Piece shit. And watch parties are coming back, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much. I'm out.